Hey guys, Wednesday, April 22nd, we are doing the third workout in the Support Your Local Box fundraiser. If you haven't signed up, you still have time. Go to games.crossfit.com. It's under the open. The scores can be submitted or not, but if you sign up, the money will be going directly towards the Body Evolution CrossFit affiliate, and that would be great if you guys chose to do it since we're doing the workouts anyway. All of these workouts are able to be done at home, and today's workout is 4 exercises of 50 reps each, requiring maybe 2 dumbbells, a box, and maybe an ab mat. If you don't have that at home, you can substitute the box for steps or a bench or your bed, technically. The outdoor patio with the steps high, whatever works, because we're just doing step ups with this. The dumbbells, they're recommending that you use a water bottle or a can of food or a water jug. You can also use kettlebell or a lighter dumbbell. Then you don't actually need the ab mat if you don't want one, but that's another option. So it's 4 exercises, 50 reps each, cap of 20 minutes. The first movement is double dumbbell deadlift. So we're gonna take 2 dumbbells, 1 in each hand, tap 1 head of each dumbbell on the ground and stand back up to full extension. 50 of those. 50 sit-ups where we have to pass through the center and pass our shoulders over our hips and touch the ground in front of our toes. The next movement is the box step up, 24 and 20 inches. If you have a box, that would be the RX standard. Just meet full hip extension at the top of the box, come back down, and alternate. The single arm thruster will be the last movement. It's actually a movement that we did in class last week, but similar standard where you're just gonna reach the bottom of the squat, hip crease below the knee, stand up to full extension, elbow and knee locked out at the same time, and you can drop right back down if you want, or you could change. You don't have to change arms, but you can. That's also 50, so however you want to break it up is up to you. I have not done this workout yet. I'm going to wait until Joe goes because apparently he just beats me by 1 second, but whatever. All right, let's go over the movements real quick. Dumbbell deadlift. I'm going to hinge to touch the ground with the dumbbell heads. I like to turn my wrist down with a hook grip. This will wear on the forearms after a while, so make sure that you're breaking it up appropriately to save your grip. The dumbbell deadlift is where I'm going to touch outside my legs, keeping a hinge pattern. Chest is proud, chin is tucked. I'm pushing back, trying to keep my back as flat as possible. If you want to see me from the front, I take a narrower stance than normal so that I can keep the dumbbells outside of my legs while still maintaining a knee over heel posture. So notice my knees, stand back up. If you put your feet wide and then touch, look what happens to your knees. They cave, which means that you're not getting as much action out of your butt, which is bad for your back, okay? 50 dumbbell deadlifts where you have to stand all the way up. So if I touch and then if I touch and then do this, that's a no rep. You have to stand all the way up till shoulders pass behind your hips. And again, try to avoid squatting too much, although it is allowed, okay? I'm gonna set that dumbbell down. I'm gonna leave this one up here for later so it's easy to grab. The next movement is gonna be the sit-up. I'm gonna use an ab mat, but you don't have to. I'm gonna bring my soles of my feet together. I'm gonna touch behind my head and then touch in front of my toes. With my shoulders past my hips. The one question that I get from a lot of sit-ups, if you're doing them at home, as you go back, make sure that your lower abs stay engaged and you're not getting too much of back extension. So, especially can be seen with the ab mat gone. If I go back, see this gap I just created? That could be what leads to lower back pain. It's usually not a problem as far as you're not injuring yourself, but you are activating your back, so it's almost like your back is getting sore because you're doing back extensions. not a good thing. It's considered bad form, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna go down, notice my back is still flat, touch the ground, come back up. You can use your arms to bring you up. Again, it's just, if you arch your back a lot, you're gonna start feeling your lower back. That's kind of one of the reasons I don't like crunches, because when people do crunches, see this gap? They're like doing a back extension, not a crunch. So if I do crunches, I'm gonna keep my lower back flat on the ground. Sorry, just took off on a rant there. So 50 sit-ups, then we move on to 50 box step-ups. Using the box or the step or whatever you have at home, we're just gonna get our heel on top, reach full extension of the leg, and then stand up. It doesn't say that that's required, but as far as good form is concerned, what you don't want to do is this. Slow that down, rewind it, and see how I am not reaching full extension before my other foot assists. So one more time, hit full extension, then my other leg planted. Didn't hit full extension, use both legs to stand up. That's usually a sign of weak hamstrings. Could be improper alignment, but we're not going to get into that. 50 step-ups, it could be alternating. I didn't read the instructions, so I don't know if it has to be, but probably easier if it was. All right, single arm dumbbell thruster. I'm going to start with my right arm, so I'm going to start facing away from the camera so you can see. Set on my shoulder, my elbow is tucked. I'm going to do a full squat, go overhead. Come down, keeping the dumbbell close to me, and tucking the elbow, trying to stay upright. Okay, let's see this from the front. So I'm going down, squat, overhead. Okay, notice as I come down, my elbow tucks. That gets my lat engaged, and I'm not gonna hurt myself. If you're like this or something weird, that's gonna hurt your shoulder. Again, you can switch whenever you want to, but you don't have to. 50 of those, and we're done. It's a 20-minute time cap. Sorry guys. It's a 20-minute time cap, and I believe everybody will finish this one, especially if we scale appropriately. So take that into account. Let's go over the warm-up. So the warm-up is 2 rounds of 10 Samson lunge. What's the Samson lunge? It's interlocked fingers, palms to the sky. Reach up as you step. That way you get the lats engaged too, so you're stretching out your lats and your hip flexors. That was 2, 3, do 10 alternating. Then we're gonna do 5 yogi squat to stand. I'm gonna take a wider stance so that I can touch my toes with knees locked. Then I'm gonna pull myself down, almost like I'm trying to pull my butt through that way. I'm gonna put my arms overhead like I'm doing an overhead squat and stand up. 5 yogi squats to stand. I'm gonna take an even wider stance. I'm gonna reach for the sky with hands together, bend with knees locked, touch the ground, reach further back, touch the ground, reach further back, touch the ground. That is 1. We're gonna do 5 cherry pickers. From there, I'm gonna bring my feet together. I'm gonna touch as close to my locked out knees as I can. Walk out, walk back. That's inchworm, stationary inchworm. We're doing 5 of those. Then we're gonna drop into our squat again. I'm gonna put my left hand on the ground and try to make my right hand equal with heels down, okay? The goal here is to separate the thoracic, or front spine, as Ty calls it, from my pelvis, so that I can rotate without hurting my lower back. We did 5 of those each side, and then we're gonna do all of that again. So again, we're gonna do 10 Samson lunge, 5 yogi squat to stand, and then 5 cherry pickers, 5 inchworm, and 5 each side of squat plus thoracic rotation. Then we'll move into a 30-second pretzel, which is where I'm gonna, let's see if I can get the angle right. My left hand grabs my right foot, my right knee comes across, and I look over my left shoulder. stretch, especially when you're doing single arm stuff. And more importantly, when you're doing rotational. So left hand grabs right knee, right hand grabs left foot. I'm trying to bring that knee high. Then I'll look over my right shoulder. 30 seconds, pretzel on that. I'm not good at this, so don't think that it's perfect the way that I do it. 20-second couch stretch. So I'm gonna use the box, and then notice I'm not staying on top of the box. I'm just relaxing. It's called a couch stretch because it's meant for being used on the couch. Only hold it for 20 seconds, not much longer than that. And we're feeling our hip flexor and our quad. All right, 20 seconds of each leg, and then a 20-second calf stretch. If you want to get really intense, you can put your foot forward. I'm trying to get my ball of the foot on the box so that it's max stretch. All right, good job, guys. Let's go into the movement prep. So with lighter dumbbells, or if you only have the one pair, we'll use that pair, but I'm gonna use the one pair that I have, and I'm gonna do 5 double dumbbell RDLs. So I'm just gonna go to my shin and back up. If you're trying to activate the hamstrings, trying to practice the hinge pattern with the outward knee push, I'm gripping the ground with my toes and rotating. Then we're gonna do 5 sit-ups using the ab mat. You guys just saw that, so you're good. We're gonna do 6 alternating step-ups, trying to get my heel on there. The more I get my heel on there, the more butt activation I'll get, so keep that in mind. 6 alternating step-ups. 5 strict press with a single arm. So I'm gonna go 5, really reach with that. Try not to pause, try not to rebound, try to pause, where I'm reaching, trying to get the bicep close to the elbow. Bicep close to the ear, sorry. And then, after 5 single arm strict press, we'll do 5 single arm front squats on each side. Okay, we did 3 rounds of that. We're gonna move on to the specific prep, which is 5 dumbbell deadlift. So I'm gonna practice touching the ground now, and then I'm gonna practice the actual thruster where we're combining the strict press and the front squat. So I'll do 5 single arm thrusters with each arm. That's the workout. As far as breaking it up is concerned, you can break it up however you want, or as much as you want. By breaking it up, I mean, I'll do 5 sets of 10 for all the exercises. Figure out during the warm-up which ones are going to be your sticking point movements and break those up more. Plan on breaking them up more. That way you feel more confident with the workout. If I go into it thinking I'm going to do 5 sets of 10 thrusters and I end up doing sets of 5, I get a little discouraged. Not a great idea. So when you're doing the thrusters, you're like, oof, I don't know how I'm going to feel after doing 150 reps of other stuff. So be aware of your limitations and try to plan accordingly. Okay, accessory work. Accessory work for the day, we're doing back squats. So in the last couple of weeks we were doing front squats. We're bringing it back to the back. If you have dumbbells, you're probably just going to be doing dumbbell front squat, or you could do goblet squats, variations. We're doing 8 reps of 50% of your 1 rep max, 7 reps of 60%, 5 reps of 70%, and 3 reps of 80% of your 1 rep max. Your most recent 1 rep max, not when you maxed out 10 years ago. The next part of the accessory is core work. We're going to do 4 rounds of 10 back extensions, and then a 30-second arm extended side plank, meaning I'm on my extended arm on the hand, and then towel raise. Towel raise. I turn this. I'm going to use a 5 or a 10-pound dumbbell, and I literally mean me. I'm going to lay down on the bench, the flat bench. I would have my feet on the ground if I was on a flat bench. My hand is even with my shoulder, and I'm going to bring it up keeping the wrist in line with my my arm, and also keeping my shoulder in line with my wrist. Meaning I'm not doing this as I go up, and I'm also, what I mean by that is that I'm not going like this. Here versus here. It's subtle but necessary. You should feel your rear delt. 10 on each side. All right, guys. Thanks. Hopefully I'll see you at Zoom class tomorrow.